Hey YouTube, it's Jim Nathan here, and I'm going to do a review for the Kids Guide to Pro Wrestling, and this is by Edge Books. They have these books at my school, and I'm renting this from the library. The Kids Guide to Pro Wrestling. Fans cheers two professional wrestlers pound and pummel each other. People love the excitement of pro wrestling from the sport's history to its biggest names and famous families get all the inside facts about pro wrestling. And then it talks about the series kids guides to classic games, collecting stuff, monster trucks, military vehicles. We got John Cena doing the attitude adjustment, or FU, back in that day, to Christian. And we got Randy Orton at the top. Looks like he just won the Royal Rumble. I think that's when that was. But it talks about wrestling. Nothing really. Talks about fun facts, and it's telling some of the basic behind the scenes stuff. Says pro wrestling began in the late 1800s. Started getting on TV in the late 40s, and now it's got the big companies TNA and WWE. And I said Carnival Wrestling was a huge draw. And it talks about heels and baby faces. Like, heel is the bad guy and babyface is the good guy. Chokeholds. It talks about The Miz as a heel, and Gorgeous George is a heel. It says, like, what does it take to be a good babyface or a heel? And it says Hollywood Hogan was a bad guy, and then he came back and became a hero again. It talks about signature moves. The elbow drop, it says also called the People's Elbow. This is pretty much wrong. I don't think that's considered an elbow drop, what Rock does. And then Ace Crusher talks about, it says also known as Diamond Crusher and Stone Cold Stunner, and it's funny, made famous by Johnny Ace. And Power Bomb. And then also called the Tiger Driver. But I think that's wrong. I think it was something else. I think the Tiger Driver. No, I think that's Black Tiger Bomb or something. I don't know. And then it talks about Moonsault, also called the Lionsault and Starship Pain. I think that's wrong. And then Pile Driver, also called Tombstone Pile Driver. That's like a different name. Alright, sorry my iPod cut off. What I was saying was, Tombstone is not really Pile Driver, it's a different version. It's not really also called Tombstone. And the Moonsault is not really called Lionsault or Starship Pain. Those are different versions. And the choke is not called the Sleeper, the Rear Naked Choke. Also called, these are just dumb. The also called thing is different versions of it. But, yeah, and then Madman from Sudan, Larry Sharif, the dude that gave, Devin Nicholson, Hannibal, hepatitis C for cutting him with a dirty old razor. But, yeah, it says he's famous for cutting people with a fork. Then it talks about Luther, some of the famous people, Luther, Andre the Giant, Stone Cold. Fun fact, Jesse the Body Ventura was a governor of Minnesota. Then it has some, like, term things at the bottom of each thing. Chris Jericho, John Cena, women in pro wrestling. Dwayne Johnson, the Hart family. The biggest wrestler, the smallest wrestler. Other things. Matches. Okay, this is a weird thing. It says steel cage match. Wrestlers face off in a ring with the barred walls and a roof. None of them were allowed to leave until one wrestler pin gives out. Sometimes the cage walls are electrified or surrounded by flames. This isn't Japan. And then ladder match, tag team match, casket match. And then some feuds. Mildred Burke versus June Byers. And that looks like freaking Nicole Bass. John Cena versus Chris Jericho. Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. Oh, this is WrestleMania moments. WrestleMania 3 and Donald Trump and Vince McMahon and WrestleMania 17. And then it's over. This is not that good. It's pretty cool to read some of this stuff, but like it's not all correct. So, I can give this a 5 out. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10 overall. But if you're bored and you see this, I guess just read it. But yeah, that's about it. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, bye.